Who pooped in the park? Dad, I have to go to the bathroom. Michael squirmed in the back seat. We'll be at our campground in just half an hour, said Dad. We're in Yellowstone National Park now. He's just nervous, said Michael's sister. He thinks a bear's gonna eat him. She growled at Michael, made her fingers look like claws. Stop it, Emily, said Mom. Nobody's getting eaten by anything. Michael was very excited about the trip, but Emily was right. He was nervous. He had just read a book about grizzly bears. He knew how big they could get. He also knew that a hungry grizzly bear would eat just about anything, maybe even a boy. I am kind of scared of bears, admitted Michael. Don't worry, Dad told him. We'll show you how to count a bear's toes and never get close enough to be scared. Here's our campsite. Let's set up the tent. Then we can go for a walk, and I'll show you what I mean, Dad said. Michael was awfully worried about grizzly bear toes, but tried not to show it. Let's hurry, said Emily. I want to see some animals. There's their tent. Once the tent was set up, the whole family went for a hike. Emily started to complain before they even left the campground. I haven't seen any animals yet. Maybe there aren't any here. Do you see an animal? I do. He's hiding, though. There are definitely animals here, said Dad. We're going to learn about them from their scat. Scat, said Michael. What's scat? Scat is the word hikers and trackers use for animal poop. Mom said, this big flat thing is bison poop. People call these buffalo chips. It looks hard, said Michael, not squishy like poop. Fresh bison poop is squishy, answered Dad, but it dries out. You can tell how old it is by how hard it is. Bison, said Emily. I thought Mom said this was from a buffalo. Technically, they're called bison, Dad responded, but early settlers called them buffalo because they look like buffaloes from the other part of the world, and the name stuck. There's the American bison. That's a water buffalo. And that's a Cape Horn buffalo from Africa. Here are some bison tracks, said Mom. They have big feet, Emily giggled. Bison are the biggest animals in the park, responded Dad. Males can weigh as much as a small car. That's bigger than a grizzly bear, said Michael. See, Michael? Nope. See, Michael, said Dad, we don't have to get up close to an animal to learn about it. Instead of a close encounter of the scary kind, we'll have a close encounter of the poopy kind. Everybody laughed, and Mom made a gross-out face. Oh, gross. Dad, Mom, look over here. I found bunny scat, yelled Michael. It's just like what we have in Fluffy's cage. We came all the way to Yellowstone for that, grumbled Emily. Michael's bunny makes plenty of poop at home. That's not from a rabbit, said Mom. It's from a deer. Right, bunny poop looks like round balls, added Deli. Dad, deer scat is shaped more like jelly beans. Are those deer tracks, Michael asked. Yes, said Mom. See how they're split? Like bison tracks, only smaller. Point deer, too, added Emily. She was starting to get interesting. But what are those marks? Those are from his dew claws, said Mom. They're little claws behind the hoof. Dew claws sometimes show in deer tracks in soft ground. but not in bison tracks. See the little deer track, track right there. Oh no, said Michael. Here's one of his antlers. Did a bear eat him? Michael looked around nervously. Daddy picked up the antler. No, he's fine. Deer and elk shed their antlers every winter and then grow a new, bigger set the next year. This antler's from an elk. This elk was in a hurry, though, said Mom as she studied the ground. Michael and Emily went over to look. How can you tell? The hoof prints get very far apart, Mom explained, and the back prints are in front of the front prints. He was walking backwards, said Emily. No, he was galloping. Something scared him, and he was moving fast. See, that his back prints are in front of his front ones. I know what scared him, Dad called. The family hurried over to look. Right there. This is wolf scat, Dad said, and there are wolf tracks all around here. They look like dog tracks, said Michael. Big ones, Emily added. Most of the tracks are shallow, Mom pointed out, but these are very deep, and the dirt is pushed up behind them. That's where the wolf launched himself towards the elk and started chasing him. There's a wolf. Did the wolf get him? Asked Michael. I don't think so, said Mom. Look. Far across the meadow, they saw two wolves lying in the sun. See the wolves? As they walked along the trail into the woods, Michael looked all over for tracks. Look, everyone, I found another wolf track. That's not a wolf track, said Dad. It doesn't show any claw marks, and the front of the big pad looks dented in. You found a mountain lion track. There's a wolf, and there's the mountain lion. Let's look for mountain lion poop, said Michael. I don't think you'll find any, said Mom, but you can look. Wow, there's a huge pile right here in the middle of the trail. That's not from a mountain lion. All you can see in it is vegetables and something that looks like oats. It's horse poop, said Emily. Right, said Mom. People ride horses out here. See if you can find any tracks. Michael found tracks all right, but they didn't look like he expected. That's an awfully funny-shaped hoof, he said. Horses don't have split hooves like bison and deer, said Dad. It's just one part. He means the shoe, said Mom. Michael looked puzzled and Dad laughed. Horses that are ridden have a lot of metal shoes to keep their hooves from breaking down. That's the track you're seeing. See the horseshoe? What are these tracks over here? Asked Emily. She was kneeling by on the hole in the ground, looking at some tracks. Dad took a closer look. Check out those long claw marks, kids. Is it from a bear? Michael said with a shudder. No, said Dad. These are badger tracks, and that's the hole he lives in. There's the badger. His claws are huge, said Emily. That's how he digs the holes, Mom answered. He uses those front feet and claws like shovels and picks. Michael followed the tracks backward from the hole and spotted some big hoof prints. I found some more bison prints over here. Those aren't bison prints, Dad pointed out. They're much pointier and not nearly as wide. Right, said Mom. They're definitely moose tracks. There's the moose and there's the bison. Moose like to hang out near streams and lakes to eat water plants, said Dad, but they come into the forest a lot too. There's a big old moose. Whoa, Dad, what happened to this tree? Did the moose do that? Something was sharpening its claws, Michael said, and if you look how high those scratch marks go, it was pretty big. It's not just the animal that's big, said Emily. Look at the size of this poop. It looks like we found your grizzly bear, said Dad. Let's see what you learned today. What can you figure out about this bear? It's taller than you and he has really long claws, said Michael. He's been eating plants, said Emily, because there's no hair or bones in here. Good, said Mom. What else? Here's his footprint. It's huge. He has more toes than a wolf, and his claws are longer than my fingers. I told you you'd be able to count a grizzly's toes, laughed Dad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He rubbed off some hair on the tree, said Emily. He's really dark, but the tips are gray. Just like Dad, smiled Mom. Don't pick on me, Dad grinned back. At dinner that night, everyone talked about how much fun they had. We didn't see very many animals, said Emily, but it seemed like we did. And I didn't get scared once, said Michael. The end.